hello, and merry meet everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I wanted to come on here and give you an update with the astrology, and just to remind you, I won't be giving another update till next weekend, and it might be on the Monday or so. I will try. I am having company coming in to see me, so yeah, it is a busy week, right? Well, we are coming up we are in June already, the beginning of June. Can you imagine? I mean, it's just, this month has just, or this year, I should say, has already been flying by. We are in the 6th month. The number 6 is a feminine number, and it's about unconditional love and nurturing. It is also about balance, and that's one thing I want to talk about is balance, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, let's look at the lineup. I know many of you have been seeing around that we're going to have a lineup of our planets. And if you want to see those really quick, let's look at them. We have Jupiter right here in Aries. We have Mars in Aries. And then we have Venus in Taurus. Now, I want you to pay attention here. Our divine masculine, Mars, and our divine feminine, Venus, are in their home signs. And y'all, this is saying that the energy is going to be really intense with these two. But we'll get to that. And then we have Mercury that's went back into Taurus. Remember, Mercury was retrograde. He stationed direct on Friday, which was the 3rd. And, you know, presumed his regular motion. We're still in his shadow, and what that means is that he's going to be going back over these little degrees as he re-enters Gemini, and he's having to go back here because there's something that he's looking for. This is the mental, and Taurus is about our possessions. It's about what we own. So we're really looking at what we're investing in again. Is this really good for us? We have to look at, and when I say what we're investing in, that doesn't really mean just money. You know, are we investing wisely? Because Taurus, yes, it does involve our finances and money. Remember, its planet is Venus, and that's all about love, and she's in there too. So we got a lot of energy. Also, hey, looky there. There is Uranus that's hanging out there too. And she's still at 8 degrees of Taurus, whereas Uranus is at 16 degrees, so she'll be soon catching up there. But one of the biggest thing that is really going to be influencing our energy is Saturn. So let's say, this energy here is all about karma, and did I say karma? Oh yeah, also don't forget decisions. So the biggest thing here, the biggest influence is what I'm seeing within this next week. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on, but because we are getting into the 2nd quarter moon, the moon today is in Leo. On the 6th, we'll be going into Virgo. So, and yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on, but I will say this is the major one because this is really shifting some gears. So Saturn goes retrograde on June the 4th, and and here's Saturn right here in Aquarius, right here. And will remain in retrograde motion until October the 22nd of 2022. Now, we began his pre-retrograde shadow February the 26th, and that began at 18 degrees of Aquarius. So on June 4th at 5:47 p.m., Saturn began his retrograde motion at 26 degrees, it's 25:15, so about 25, 26 degrees of Aquarius. So, and this time is for 12 p.m. for the 4th. So, yeah, it's, I would say more of 26. And when he goes back direct in October, on the 22nd of October, that is, he will be at 18 degrees of Aquarius. Now, we will be in the shadow, meaning what I said about Mercury, he'll be going back over those same degrees. So, for example, he's at 20, that says 25, but he'll be at 26 degrees when he actually begins to go retrograde. So he will go backwards in Aquarius until he gets to 18 degrees, and then he's going to be reliving those degrees. Now, we will stay in that post-retrograde shadow until January the 23rd, 2023. So that's going to go into next year. So I want to talk about the Sabian symbol. The Sabian symbol for this, for 26 degrees of Aquarius, is a garage man testing a car's battery with a hydrometer. It says this symbol shows the need to pick up problems and diagnose what might be wrong, whether it's mechanically, physically, spiritually, or emotionally. Interesting, interesting. The car, well, it can be a car, or it can be your body, your earthly vehicle, and it may need some testing to see how it's coping with life's pressures. Perhaps you need to use some type of gauge on your emotional reactions. There is often a need to take more of an intuitive or psychic approach to problems, although an objective or inventive view will also bring results. Figure out any malfunctions so your life can proceed in a smoother, more efficient manner. Ooh. Pick up something to see what's wrong. The car battery. So that could be, and that could be our bodies. So for me, this is really talking to us about, we need to really, and this is talk about listening to our intuition, diagnose what might be wrong, whether it's mechanically, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Well, in our world right now, we have a lot of this floating stress and floating anxiety and anger that is in our world. And it's being pumped in our world. It's fed to us every day. If you watch the TV, the news, if you're looking on media, even social media networks, you will see some sort of thing that is encouraging more anger, encouraging more stress. And guys, this is not good for our bodies. This is not good for us, period. Stress and anxiety, it weakens our body's immune system, and it causes our body to not be able to function. Now, our body is energy. Most of us know this by now. If you're listening to me, you probably know this. And when we are working with our chakras, when we go through them to balance them, you know, to check on them, we have to sit down and we have to be still, right? We have to get in an area and be still and listen. In order to intuitively hear, we have to shut our mouths. And we have to shut off the outside world and all of that interference so that we can have our moment with our own energy. Being surrounded by all of this different, I mean, if we're going to believe in energy, then let's believe in energy, okay? We have, even right now, I'm using my phone to record this. This is an energy that is being used. So sometimes it is very much needed for us to cut off all outside interference and to go within to listen to us, to listen to our body and what we need. So when we are doing this, we need to, physically, check ourselves out physically, all right? How is your health? Is your health doing good right now? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you eating correctly? Are you getting exercise? Are you physically taking care of your vessel as well? Spiritually, Are you, does your cup runneth over, or has it been empty for years? We need to recharge our spirituality, doing something, you know, connecting with that higher power, with God, the divine, whatever you want to call it, connecting with that so that we can recharge. A really good way to recharge is just, you know, go lay on the ground. You know, just feel the earth energy. Just become one with the earth. That will help you. Hugging a tree, I know that sounds crazy, but I will tell you, it helps. It really helps. And each of the trees, the Druids believed that each tree had its own type of energy. For example, the birch tree was about beginnings and so forth. This is a part of the ohms that they have. They had the little lines, and all of the lines meant different trees, and that meant different, that was different meanings. This is the same type thing. We have to remember when we talk about Saturn, this is like our father, okay? And Saturn, when he's father time, this is karma. This is karma. And, you know, this is coming from the past. Now, karma is neither good nor bad. It is what it is, what it is. So it is connecting us to a past. I'm feeling it more connecting to our ancient ancestors. And we are really trying to awaken that earth spirituality within us once more, to try to obtain what has been lost. When we look at a lot of the indigenous European, like such Celtic culture example, and some people will fuss over that, but you know, people are going to fuss about everything, give them a second. But people have lost a lot. You know, part of our teachings, part of, you know, I walk the European Celt tradition. There's a lot of information that is missing because it was taken, it was robbed from us, and now we are seeing this resurgence of wanting to tap back into that, and to really discover what it was. What was their knowledge, that gnosis. We want that deep gnosis. We're tired of the surface. We want the reality of it. So yeah, this is all about tapping into that, and really, and you know, Aquarius is, you know, is always looking forward here. You know, you have boundaries and you have an opening. Aquarius is, you know, this water sign, but it's air, and this is about the electric energy. This is about that flow. And when anybody who works with electricity or works with any type of energy whatsoever, radio waves, whatnot, you know that when there's a blockage somewhere, if the signal isn't going through, there's a block somewhere. So we need to figure out where that block is, and we need to clear that block. So now, when we get to 18 degrees Aquarius of where he's going back to, this is the Sabian symbol for this is a forest fire finally quenched. A forest fire finally quenched. This shows rising to the occasion and quenching the flames of fires that can leap out of their boundaries and take control of your life. Saturn, boundaries. Enthusiastic drive and zeal can sometimes set off an almost uncontrollable, destructive chain of events. Enthusiastic drive. Well, you know, we could say that's Uranus too, because he is enthusiastic, and he loves to cause that chaos to make change happens. It says you may have been caught up in such a situation, emotional or physical. There is likely to be no choice but to fight for control and minimize the destruction. Any efforts will be at last successful. You are likely to come out of some life-threatening experiences with a new sense of commitment or a better understanding of consequences of your actions. Exuberant feelings after struggles and running out of fuel, calming down, the drive to control situations, relief after long battles with unruly emotions or thought, fire hoses. So yeah, we are definitely going through some intense energy here. As Saturn goes retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, we are definitely being pushed to make some major decisions in our life that will affect us for many years to come. Because also, he is still having a square with the nodes. Our north node being here in Taurus, and our south node is in is actually supposed to be here, and I didn't put it on this chart. I do apologize, but the south node is in a Scorpio. So we're definitely having a moment of he's pinning them and saying, look, or he's pinning us, because Scorpio is where the south node is at, and that is the past. That's about let go. The north node is in Taurus, and north node is where we're going. So this is about rethinking. We need to make some decisions. We need to rethink our future with our food, with our love, you know, I should say values, money, all of this. It's about really looking at stuff, because there's a lot of unearthing that has been going on. There's a lot of things that's coming out. I mean, in 18, this talks about control. So this is like struggling for control, a fire. So it seems this is something that has happened, and we have come in and, you know, either by negligence, maybe we were just saying, well, you know, I'll sit back, this will work itself out in a minute, you know, and we do that. There's times where we sit back and say, well, you know, this energy will play out, or this will happen, and what have you. And sometimes, you know, it'll get really, really bad, and it calls us to step up, to actually step up and to remember, you know, who is, you know, to step up for ourselves and for our own authority, to be self-responsible. And that is the biggest thing. And also the consequences of our action. When we sit and do nothing, we allow things to roll over us. If we're standing in the middle of the road and a bus is flying down the road and we're still standing there not moving, well, the consequences of that action is going to be that bus hitting us. So we have to understand that our actions, they create consequences, whatever they may be. And we have to go in and we have to make sure, you know, first we have to say, okay, this is the problem. And we have to look at how to fix it. We can't do this when we're in fear. We can't do this when we're stressed out. We can't do this when we're lost in hatred, when we're having so much division happening right now. And this is globally. This isn't just happening in the United States. This is globally. So, you know, Saturn has been in this hard square with the north and south nodes. And, you know, so we are reassessing some things in our life because there are some things that are just not working for us. Remember, we're here to expand and to grow, and that requires changing, which is really hard for a lot of people, but it is necessary. This is a part of us experiencing life. And this is what we have to remember. Right now, we're seeing the same-o in our world. This is our, you know, where we are globally, not just in the United States, but globally. People are saying that, hey, you know, our past is not working for us anymore. We have changed. We have grown. We do have sovereignty over ourselves. We do have human rights that were given to us by the goddess of this earth, or by God, whatever your spiritual belief is, there are our natural given rights that we have in this earth, and we have to understand them. And we also have to understand that our decisions cause consequences, and we all need to grow up and make them. And that's what Saturn says. Saturn says, hey, look at your past. And it's getting really hard because a lot of the past is disappearing right now, just as it did once before. Once before, when the Crusades happened, when the you can go back and look at this in history, when the Catholic Church went through and, wiped out cities and whatnot, everything went. Everything's gone. So we have to understand, we have to learn from our past. Remember, we're here to expand and to grow. We are not here to control others. We are not here to tell other people what they should and should not do. We are here to live life in peace. But remember, your rights end where another person's rights begin. And you have to understand that. You cannot, I get a lot of people will come on, and some people will come on social media and they'll say something to me. And, I will say something back, and then all of a sudden, I'm the crazy person because I disagree with them because, no, we're all going to disagree. That's okay. It's good to have a different perspective, but let's learn from one another. Let's learn how to be the adults in the room and to have a conversation. Healthy debate is good. Fighting, argument, and violence is not. It gets you nowhere. But that's another story. But that's Saturn, though. Saturn is very much that. He's very much the father figure that says, look, you need to get out of your pity party and take care of what needs to be taken care of. Get over yourself. So yeah, we're reassessing some things in our life, and change is hard. Change is really, really hard because we can be unsure of where we're going. We don't know what's coming. We're entering into the unknown. Saturn is cornering us, and he's saying, look, we need to think really hard and deep and long about our future. Where are we going to go? Where are we going? Also, what do we want to keep in our life? What do we want to release? And this is very important. This is very important because when we do better, some of our old ways cannot come with us. Some of the old habits, old addictions, those kind of things, many of them have to stay in the past because we are moving on. I will say that this is not a good time for anything that requires a commitment, as this is an unstable foundation kind of energy. It's almost like wet sand, like standing on wet sand. This is the time when we really want to look at where we are investing our energy and who we are investing our energy in, and decide if this is for the highest good. Now, relationships, those people that are in relationships, you're in a committed relationship at this time, these relationships can thrive. But here's the deal. Both partners have to be able and willing to work hard in the relationship. Saturn, unfortunately, is about hard work, but he is about reward as well. He tells us that by doing this hard work and committing yourself to something, that a reward will be coming to you. So, for those of you that are lazy and slackers and you don't want to do anything, this is not going to be a good time for you. I'm going to tell you right now, because this time is going to be about work. There is a lot of work that needs to be done. There is a lot of restructuring that needs to be done, and it's time for us to stand up and do so. For those that are working on their career, this is a good time to do what you need to do in order to get yourself promoted in your profession. Or, try to go after another job that will elevate you in some way. A little bit about what's happening with Saturn as we go on through the month. On June the 16th, the Sun and Saturn retrograde harmonize and they're going to be in a trine. So that's going to make us step up. It's going to make us say, hey, you know, I am the boss of my life. And it's going to make us remind us that we are the magicians to take care of our life, that, you know, we have the tools within us to get what we need in our life. So we're going to be stepping up to that. Now on June the 18th, Venus in Taurus is going to form a square with Saturn. So this is going to make us rethink and reevaluate our financial decisions. The 27th of June, Mars and Saturn retrograde will share a sextile. And this is going to help us by adding authority to our power. So we're going to be able to bring our authoritative self back into the mix. So this is Saturn and this is Mars here. So, and that is on the 27th. So that's well on into June. So this is really important here. And I want to really talk about Mars and Venus. Mars and Venus, this is our divine feminine and our divine masculine. And here they are coming together. They are in their signs and they are operating at their highest strength. And Mars is, you know, Mars is like, oh, he's war. He's not just war. Mars is the emperor in the tarot. And the emperor says that, you know, in order to be a good leader, you must understand that the power lies within the self. Not within the tools of the trade, but within the self. It all comes from within. If you do not have that within, you will not find it outside. This is the Emperor card. And this is representative of Aries. And you'll see the ram's heads up there. And you see that symbol that is almost the symbol of Venus. And this is saying, you see this is his sphere, that represents the masculine and that represents the feminine. That means he's balanced. He's got his divine masculine and divine feminine energy balanced within him. He understands. He knows. He knows what harm the ego can do. He knows what harm it can cause to great nations when we don't understand how the energy or the laws of the world work. We have been held away from how this earth really works through many different ways. And this is but one of them. So now we have Venus in Taurus. And this is her home sign. She's very happy here. This is love and harmony and joy and happiness and la da 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 da, all the good stuff. Here you go. This is the Empress, and that is, there's, see that shield? That is the sign of Venus. This is fertility. This is abundance. This is, you know, you see all the growth around her? Yes. See the water flowing here? This is the consciousness that feeds the living, the consciousness of life. So, oh, that is a glare. I do apologize. So we have a lot going on here, and I just wanted to bring these cards out because of their importance. This is so much the time, guys, to really work at balancing the energies within us, to learn how to harmonize with our masculine and feminine energies. We have these within us. We have the action and we have the receptive part. In order to get answers, we have to be willing to receive them. Okay, many people ask questions and they don't want answers because they feel like they already know everything. I can't get those to stay up on here. But anyway, those are our archetypes that are really pulling this. Then we have Chiron, that is the wounded healer, and this is in Aries, and this is about healing the self. And with Mars creeping up to him, this is us taking healing in a different way, not our traditional, regular, everyday put a band-aid on it and go on. This means healing from the within and without. As above, so below. As within, so without. And this is why it's so important that we look at our divine feminine and our divine masculine. Because, you know, we are in a new age, and this is the rise of that divine feminine energy once more. And the reason and how I know that this is really happening and really taking place is because I am seeing the attacks that is happening up on the divine feminine in our world right now. There are attacks against that. Women are being attacked still on a daily basis, but in different ways. I want you to, the feminine here. The feminine, she is the life bringer. She is the portal of life into this world. And as women, most of us hold that. Most of us hold that ability to be that portal. And if we cannot carry children, then we do have that way of being a portal for other energies to come through. Feminine energy is receptive. We receive, and not only do we receive, but we take in that energy and then we use our inner alchemy and we create. That is that energy. And this energy is what helps us do that. It helps us. It gives that driving energy to push us forth, that spring of energy. So this week, guys, yeah, some of you are going to be really cool with things. Some of you are not going to be so cool with things. I'm telling you, I wish I could say it's going to be easy peasy, but it's not. We're going to have some work, and that's the way it is. I mean, that is where we are. Where we are is having our human experience, and we are here to experience life in its full essence. So with that, I am going to close. There is so much going on. There is so much happening. And sometimes I just feel like I'm telling you the same thing over and over. So I'm not going to go into everything and all of the placements. I'm not really going to go into all of that. What I am going to say here is we have something very important here. We have Lilith in Cancer. And she's at 8 degrees, and this is very important. 8 is that number that stands for as above, so below. And when you turn it on its side, it's the infinity. And right there in the middle of the 8 represents that perfect harmony, that perfect balance, that perfect vibration where everything is held in complete harmony. So she is over in Cancer. And she's healing here. She's being touched by, she's being healed by the Great Mother. She's being, her emotions are being soothed here. So this is some tremendous healing that is taking place in our world. And I know that it doesn't look like it completely. I understand, but creation comes from chaos. But we have to focus it, and that's the biggest thing. And when we're all scattered, when we're all in fear, all stressed out and angry and fighting each other, we're not going to get anywhere. The only way we're going to get somewhere is by coming together in harmony and being and working together as humans should work together, and bringing ourselves healthfully and safely into the next age. Because it's not just for us, it's for others that come after us. It's for our kids, it's for our grandkids, it's for our nieces, our nephews, and so forth. So with that, I bid you all a wonderful week. I hope you enjoy it. I will be doing a tarot reading, and I will be getting that up soon. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please like, subscribe, and do all of the good stuff. Support me. People were talking about how they could send me donations to help me out, because, you know, I do this because I love it. I do this because there's so many people who like astrology but do not understand it, and I want to bring it to you in a way that you can understand it. You know, try to explain to you what the energy is going on, and the influences, and what is being highlighted here, what I'm seeing. So anyway, I will put that down there. I will put, I do have a Cash App, and I will share that with y'all if you do want to donate money. I do appreciate you watching, and again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Many blessings to you all, and merry part till we merry meet again.